sovereign gold bond scheme, a brand new tranche of the same, is open for subscription from today. It will be open till the 16th of October. Now, gold is, of course, in focus, not just because, as well as we on the Money Show have been telling you about how there's been this massive rally, in gold prices in these last 2-3 odd months, but we have Dhanteras coming up. And these are special occasions when individuals do want to especially buy gold. Though, of course, now they do so via a more modern method, and that's via gold ETFs, SGBs, if they are, of course, open for subscription during these opportune and festive and auspicious times. So let's discuss then whether you should be investing in this sovereign gold bond scheme. I have with me Mrind Agarwal of FinSave. Mrind, thank you so much for joining us. It's always a pleasure having you with us on the Money Show. So to start with, we've seen gold prices fall quite a bit compared to what we saw them trading at in July and August. I mean, I remember in August it had crossed 55,000 rupees per 10 grams. And I think back then as well, you had advised that, look, don't put all your money together via the SGB, do it in bits. Now, the latest tranche of SGB is at a little over 5,000 rupees per 10 grams. Does SGB, do you think that rather in this tranche, investors should again, subscribe to this particular tranche?
Good evening, Mubina, and nice to be here today. Well, as far as any gold investment is concerned, whether it's through SGB or it's through gold ETF, I think the point to keep in mind is what is your asset allocation and where does this really fit in your asset allocation? So are you over 20% invested in gold already? Then probably you don't need to take more exposure. But certainly if you are under allocated to gold and you would like to take more exposure given what we've seen happening in gold and given the short-term prospects of gold, certainly, you can take an allocation to the sovereign gold bond scheme, but clearly it has to be based on your asset allocation and the fact that you can hold it for 8 years.
Okay. Would you stick to your earlier given recommendation that, of course, based on allocation, I totally get that, right? You should put maybe 5 to 10% of your total portfolio in gold. However, let's say if somebody does not have this investable way of gold, I'm not talking about the jewelry that lies in everyone's homes, but all of these paper forms of gold, which are used for investment. If, let's say, someone has not yet reached their 5-7% target of asset allocation and they want to use this SGB to do so, do you recommend they lap it all up at once in this tranche or again stagger it?
Well, actually, that's a little difficult to say. I mean, certainly the gold is looking good over the next couple of months. So I think the next tranche is going to be in November. And certainly, given that the festive season is coming in and seeing the quantitative easing that's there across the world, especially the US, I think, in the short term, probably the prices might move back up. Certainly, we had like a 7-8% correction over the last couple of months. But I would always say that, yes, you can put some amount right away. But it's a bet always, I mean, you never know what it can really go to, what can happen in the interim to move the gold prices. So, but yes, it's not a bad idea. And there is also some discount if you're going to buy it online and everything. So it's actually working out to, I think, 5,000 rupees per gram that you're buying it. So it's not a bad idea to take the allocation right now, considering that there has been a little bit of a cooling off on the gold prices.
Well, yeah, it's almost, on a per gram basis, it's almost 600 rupees cheaper compared to what it was in August, 5 to 600 rupees cheaper, So, yeah, if you do want some gold in your portfolio, it would not be a bad idea, according to Mrind, to do so right now. If you buy it online, of course, you have that additional 50 rupees off as well. Mrind, we have ETFs, we have, the gold monetization scheme as well, and then if you want physical, you have gold bars, gold coins, and then the SGB as well. In your order of preference, in your pecking order, which form of gold would you prefer to hold?
Well, gold jewelry or physical gold, certainly not preferred at all. And in terms of an investment, you really have only sovereign gold bond, and you have the ETFs, because when you look at gold monetization, that is more like, you're giving your existing gold up, and then you're getting an interest on that particular amount. What I would recommend is that if you have a longer term holding period, then I would still say SGB is the best, because firstly, SGB is completely tax free at maturity. Yes, there is an interest component that is taxable, but when we look from tax efficiency perspective over the ETF, SGB scores better because of the fact that it's tax free at maturity. I think, of course, there's no cost attached to it. You don't even need to have a demat account to buy a sovereign gold bond as well. So it scores a lot on those parameters. For someone who is looking at more liquidity in the product, or someone who is looking at it more from a tactical bet to say that the next couple of years gold prices are going to go up because of the current situation, led by due to COVID, of course. Such individuals can actually look at the ETF, because there, if you're looking at it as a tactical allocation, then the ETF is a better option because it gives you the ability to exit when you want to. But otherwise, if you can hold it for an 8-year period, given the fact that it's no cost, no tax, certainly I would say that SGB is right at the top of my list.
These are two questions that our viewers do ask us very often, so I want to pose them for you, Mrin. Firstly, can NRIs invest in sovereign gold bond schemes? And secondly, how do you, let's say in the 5th year, and you are allowed to exit the sovereign gold bond scheme in the 5th year. Let's say if someone does want to exit in the 5th year, what's the procedure? Who do you go to essentially to redeem your bonds?
Firstly, NRIs can't invest into the bonds directly. However, if somebody has willed the bonds to an NRI, then they're allowed to hold it. But per se, they cannot make an investment in the primary issue of the bond, and neither can they buy it on the exchanges as well. Secondly, if you want to exit after 5 years, you can do so at the exchange, and it is freely traded at the exchange. So you'll have to go to the stockbroker, and you'll have to do it through your stockbroker trading account.